Okay, my friends, I've shown you that basically everything is wrong. So this is really where I want to get to, the science of the soul, about what Enoch said and all of these disregarded things that were in the past. But before we do that, let's just look at this. And when I say we all understand that nothing is correct, I mean literally nothing. This is a dragon in Morocco. That's a giant fish. That is Atlantis. Everything drained out from the Sahara Ocean out of there. This was all written about, and it's even the dragon is on Columbus's map. So it's time we looked back at reality and accept it for reality and start to think for reality. And if you think this is a joke and this is a fake and this is something you can just disregard, well, you better get up here and take your little eyeballs out and look. Because it is not, and it is our history. And Einstein's wrong, and nobody cares about any of the reality. I have the proof of everything I'm saying. I have the proof of my giants. Hold on. This is a lab report on the giants that I have, and I had three things tested. One, a giant which would equivalent to about 60 feet, one that's over 200 feet, and one that's our size. And here is a picture of the 200-foot one fingertip. You see that? Those are fingerprints. Those are the little sweat pores. That's grip skin. You can see, there's where the print starts. That's the side of the finger. That wrapped around that fingernail right there. Fingertip. That's the fingernail. It's about 30 inches wide. So, and it's DNA certified. And I have other ones too. So it's not a joke. And I have tons of this stuff. Tons and tons. Virtually every rock there is was a biological piece. Oh, it's like these stone balls here. They come in all different sizes. They come from tiny up to just huge, and the straps are still on some of them. There's just no way to discount this. These are the tendon mats. The tendon itself has a strap that comes. We've seen it. That goes to the tendon ball. It fits through what they call a Chinese slot, Chinese finger trap. And that allows the tendon to move, and the strap goes down through this way. Well, this one's pulled out from its anchor. They're never supposed to be pulled out of there. That's an injury. That's the ball. That's the strap. These are the flat panels that they use down in Peru, and they snapped them right here. And I believe there's a test wall down there that they tried all different ways. Now, coming up to this is literally all kinds of little blocky panels. They go just like this all the way down. And they make a triangle coming up to it. Absolutely fabulous, the structure of the body. We are built in little tiny slots and slabs and blocks. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see all the little layers in this thing, but that's the kind of layering that's in the tissues of things. That's tissue. And there's a ton of layering in there. That is the nature of life. We have missed even that. There's so many more layers than we are led to believe. They say, oh, you got this layer, and this layer, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. Well, there's thousands of layers. Now, they are very, very thin, and you don't see them, apparently, until they turn into mud fossils, and then you see them quite well. So, this is the reality of the world we live in. That's all I care about, is to start to talk about this as reality. Now, it may change the way you see the whole world, and I mean, obviously will, but will it be a good thing or will it be a bad thing? I have no idea. I am seeing it as looking for reality, and the reason I started to, I'm done with no understanding this. I understand it 100%. I have no more issues with understanding the world was just exactly like they said in the past, and Enoch was the guy that said the things that I want to look at, because he's the guy they took out of the Bible. They said, no, to get that thing out of there, it's crazy. Well, it's not crazy, it's reality. I'm heading that direction now, and I'm heading to all of that stuff, the Titans, the Olympians, the whole 9 yards. I want to see it all, I want to hear it all, and I want to think about it all, and then I want to make my own decision. All right, this is where the mat would have been. and that was where the ball stuck in. The other one we saw was pulled out. That's the strap. This was a strap here that broke away. The straps are much weaker than the balls. The balls are all over here, and that's just the way they work. That is the nature of the way the body is constructed and anchored. And these are the Maori New Zealand dragon eggs. I guess Brian Forrester just did a video on the Costa Rica, same things like this. And Tyson, you know who Tyson's, my good buddy, he posted up there, he says, oh, those are biological. And I guess Brian said, oh, no, no, no. Well, I don't know what he said, but he made it sound like, or I guess he just said, oh, please, something like that. And they're biological, they're everywhere. Now that's the problem. We need to get together and start to talk about this stuff, because nobody will talk to me from either side of anywhere. I mean, I know that people are looking into what I've been talking about, because I get all these mentions. Well, here, hold on a second. All right, you see here it is right here. 1,190 papers mention my name. Now, that's mentioned in these papers, and then they also send you every time somebody searches on you, and I get a lot of that. So people are paying attention, but they're not. Nobody's corresponding with me. Now here's bowling ball beach. These are everywhere. They are everywhere wherever it erodes against the ocean. They show up because the Earth was literally flesh all over the entire Earth. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. All right, I showed you the tendons before, and they had those straps running out. 1, 2, 3, 4, running right down. These are the straps broken off. This looks to me like they had a test wall to see what was the best way to dress the final result on the surface, because I don't see any reason for this. Because they got lumps sticking off here. They got, you know, because this is actually the layering of the external surface of the skin. That, well, in this case, it's a tendon mat, and that comes up to here. Now they've cut some away. They have this one like that. They scrape down this way on that one. I see no other reason for this other than to test it, to see what would work best. And they had high-tech equipment. All right, these things are down in Bolivia, and I guess there are a lot of places. But anyway, you see these? These are tank treads. This vehicle with its tire and its tank treads was designed to work in wet conditions. This is a tendon mat, and they somehow had something over here cutting these slabs off, and they brought them in the back and made walls out of them. And this is the Achilles tendon. They were gigantic, huge creatures. I cannot account for it other than it was written about in the past, and it was true. All right, this is, I believe, a different one, and this is in Fuerte de Sempiata, Bolivia, and they're cutting these slabs, the same thing. This is a tendon. These are the walls in the back that they made where they fit together. Oh, I can't believe how, and they're all crazy looking shapes. Well, that's because they cut some slabs of wet tendon. This is tendon. And it was wet. They cut it and they put it back here. And I could show it. There's absolutely no question what I'm saying. It's true. It's time to start thinking about what the heck did happen here. All right, you see this? This is tendinous material, and this is either the bone or muscle, I'm not sure which. It's extremely eroded. You can see that it's a red, bloody, porous material. Now, this tendon is a whole different story, tough as hell. And what they did was they cut this poorly from a bad place, a very bad place, and it shows it's not, you know, it's eroding. I mean, it's lasted a couple thousand years, I guess, or however long. But look, I mean, that one there is literally a chunk of rotting meat. This is what this is. I understand this stuff intimately. I understand rocks, and I understand the chemistry. I understand the biology. I understand the anatomy. I understand the preservation. I understand why it happened. And I have copious amounts of specimens.